Every artist begins with a question. For Hazel Soan, that question was simple yet profound. Can I live a life entirely through art? From her earliest days, Hazel showed a relentless curiosity about the world around her, sketching not as an exercise, but as a way of seeing. Lines became her language long before words could fully express what she felt. After formal training in fine art, she stepped out of college not into uncertainty, but into determination. Many artists struggle for years to find a foothold. Hazel, however, captured attention almost immediately. Her first exhibition sold out within an hour, a signal that her instinct to trust the purity of watercolor was not misplaced. From that moment, her path was set. Hazel did not choose watercolor because it was easy. She chose it because it was alive. Oil can be corrected, acrylic can be reworked, but watercolor demands courage. It accepts no hesitation. Once the brush moves, there is no turning back. This sense of risk thrilled her. To Hazel, each wash of color was a performance, swift, decisive, and impossible to repeat. Her approach to painting was never about fussing over details. It was about capturing life in motion. She understood that a painting must breathe, and to do so, it needed space, light, shadow, and silence between marks. Even in her early works, you can see this philosophy. Bold strokes of pigment balanced by untouched paper, like music built on both notes and pauses. Success did not make her complacent. It only expanded her hunger for knowledge. Hazel traveled, studied the movement of light, and explored how color behaves under different skies. She learned to trust instinct as much as observation. When most beginners feared leaving white paper exposed, Hazel embraced it, allowing the surface to become an active voice in the composition. Her early years laid the foundation for everything to come: clarity, confidence, and a love for simplicity. For Hazel, painting was not about copying reality. It was about distilling it. She would later write, "To paint is to choose." And in those early choices, her future was already speaking. Art thrives on movement. For Hazel Soan, that movement was not just within the brushstroke, but across continents. While London gave her structure, it was Africa that gave her light. Drawn to the vastness of the African landscape, she traveled to Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa, not as a tourist, but as an observer, a listener. Here, everything was different. The sun did not merely illuminate, it sculpted. The animals did not pose, they vanished as quickly as they appeared. This world demanded speed, confidence, and an unshakable eye for essentials. In the African bush, there is no luxury of hesitation. Hazel learned to paint in a single breath, capturing the thrust of a zebra's movement or the tilt of a giraffe's neck before it dissolved into a horizon. Watercolor became her ally because it allowed for immediacy. A quick wash could suggest heat shimmering on the savanna. A single dark stroke could anchor an entire herd. Africa also deepened her fascination with contrast. Light and shadow were not subtle suggestions here. They were declarations. A sunlit shoulder of an elephant against the deep shade of acacia trees created patterns that thrilled her painter's mind. These shapes, these intervals of brightness and depth, became the grammar of her compositions. Over time, Hazel developed an instinct for simplifying forms, reducing the unnecessary, and letting tone speak louder than detail. Her technique evolved in harmony with these lessons. She began to favor large, confident brushes that could sweep color across the paper in bold, unbroken gestures. The palette she carried was minimal but deliberate, designed to mix clean, vibrant hues without the heaviness that clogs transparency. She worked wet into wet to allow pigments to merge organically, a controlled surrender to watercolor's natural behavior. In this period, Hazel's mantra crystallized: paint what matters most and leave the rest to breathe. This philosophy turned her paintings into more than representations. They became impressions of energy, shaped by light, time, and intuition. It is no surprise that her African works are among her most celebrated. They are not just pictures of wildlife, they are songs of space and sunlight, compositions built on the tension between fleeting life and enduring land. Travel did more than influence her subjects. It altered her way of seeing. Back in Europe, the discipline she had learned under Africa's burning sky stayed with her. Whether painting the curve of a Venetian canal or a quiet figure on a London street, Hazel applied the same principles: clarity, simplicity, and speed guided by observation. Every stroke had to earn its place.